So in One Punch Man Chapter 173, we got a whole bunch of crazy reveals. And actually one of the biggest reveals is something that we're technically not even supposed to know because it hasn't happened yet. Because it's going to happen in the future of the story because it's already kind of happened in the webcomic. But it's not outright said yet. And I'm talking about Blast's partner that we see in the chapter. This cool looking guy with the armor and the two swords. Yeah, this guy's like super important to the overall story, believe it or not. And in order to talk about him and get into the crazy truth and how he connects to so many things, I'm gonna have to go into some serious spoilers. So if you don't want to know what's gonna happen, you know, don't watch the video. So let's just cut to the chase here. If you've read the webcomic, you probably saw this guy and you know, you did the Leo meme and you were like, this guy is the Ninja Village leader. And I'm right there with you because I'm pretty sure this is him. Now, before I go further, let me just say it's not confirmed. This is just my opinion and the opinions of many others, I assume, but I think that this guy is the Ninja Village leader for sure. So first, let me explain who the Ninja Village leader is. So in chapter 118 of the webcomic, after Flashy Flash and Sonic defeat the Heavenly Ninja Party, as Gale is dying, he basically explains who the Ninja Village leader is, and he says that he's pretty much like the strongest ninja who ever lived. And according to some rumors, that man's true nature is not human. A comrade once investigated the concealed past of that man. He later disappeared without a trace, but he was able to confirm that he has been alive and continuously conducting assassinations for 300 years. He has different skin colors on different parts of his body as well as multiple heartbeats. In addition, if the target has a strong and healthy body, he will take all of their blood and innards away from the scene. Based on these descriptions, the only thing we can think of is, but he's not able to finish his sentence because Flashy Flash interrupts him. But going further, he just hypes him up more. He's like, yeah, he's so powerful that none of you can hold a candle to him and he would just treat you like a baby. And then we get to see what he looks like, and he looks very similar to Blast's partner that we see in chapter 173. I mean, he has similar hair, he has the two swords coming out of his back, and later on, which we'll talk about, we see like his arsenal and he has like a gun there. Well, we also see that Blast's partner has like a gun too. So I'm pretty sure this is him, but not just because of the aesthetic similarities, but because of course Blast has history with the Ninja Village leader. Because in chapter 115 of the webcomic, when Sonic first meets the Heavenly Ninja Party, they tell him that the founder of the Ninja Village, the one known as the strongest ninja in history, ever since he fought Blast in an epic battle on Lost Consciousness 15 years ago, he's been laying dormant in a recovery capsule. So this kind of ties everything together pretty much, right? Now the 15 years ago thing is important because given the information that we got in chapter 173, it's making more sense now because Sitch said that for the past 20 years, Blast has been continuously fighting this god you all encounter. He, his partner, and a group of many other collaborators, they were searching for a mysterious cube that could turn humans into monsters, and then that's when we see Blast with the Ninja Village leader here. So we don't get the exact time of how long they've been together, but considering that he's saying this directly after the 20 years line, we can assume that they've been together for a while, probably 20 years. But first, real quick, let's talk about Gamer Subs because they have a new Waifu Cup launch, and it's the 11th drop of season 3, and this time it's Heart Racer. And the cups are always aesthetic, but I really especially like this one. The green looks so good, and you know, the designs are always aesthetically appealing. And with every drop, they always have the new shirt that comes with it, like this one, which you can grab as well. And guys, I'm not kidding when I say this. You want to grab these things fast because they sell out fast. Like, these cups come and go in less than a week. I'm not even kidding, along with the shirts. But while you're grabbing the new Heart Racer cup, make sure you grab some Gamer Subs to go with it, like the new milk flavor. That's right, it's called milk. And I'll tell you what it tastes like. Pour it in the Waifu cup. And of course, you got a nice color change here. Yeah, it tastes good. I don't know if that's what milk tastes like, but if it does, I'm on board. So guys, check out my link in the description to get yourself the season 3 Heart Racer cup and some milk as well. Or just make sure you use code BIGZ at checkout. Thanks, guys. And then right after that, we see another flashback of them like observing the cube. And it says it has been handed down over time as a kind of communication device with this god, what some would call a type of opart or out of place artifact. He had been collecting them and together with his collaborators attempting to analyze them. That also kind of makes everything come full circle here because I think last year I made a video about the Ninja Village leader possibly making a deal with God off of the cube. And now that we have all this information, I'm pretty sure it turns out that that's true. Because first of all, the ninja village itself looks like a friggin' cube. And I've been talking about this for a while, and I was like, guys, it's not a coincidence. And it turns out, yeah, it's not. It all is because of God. So given what we know of in chapter 173, with Blast and the ninja village leader here and other collaborators going after the cubes, along with what happens afterwards with Sitch saying that like finally 2 years ago from the present, while Blast was fighting Elder Centipede, he came into contact with God directly. He refused the transaction of power and pitted himself against God. So that means that like one of two things is going on. Either at some point when Blast and the ninja village leader were going after the cubes, God encountered the ninja village leader just like he did Blast, but instead of the ninja village leader declining God, he accepted his exchange of power and he became the monstrous guy that we come to know of him in the webcomic. And then I guess, you know, either 5 years after that or that happened 15 years ago, that's when Blast fought him and, you know, put him into a coma because, you know, he was like, hey, you accepted God's deal. You know, I'm going to have to take you down. Sorry. Or it was even like, hey, I'm going to fight you, Blast. It could have been whatever, but they obviously fought because of the ninja village leader accepting God's influence. Now that's one possibility, but the other possibility is that the ninja village leader was always God's disciple, at least for 300 years, because it goes back to what Gale was telling Flashy Flash and Sonic in chapter 118. When he's like, when they looked into his past, they found out that he had been continuously conducting assassination for 300 years. Now, either that is going to be retconned in the manga, or they were mistaken, or it is going to be still true in the manga, and maybe, like I said, 300 years ago, that's when he accepted God's deal, and he's kind of just been playing Blast up until this point, going around and collecting the cubes with him because maybe he was trying to trick Blast into becoming a disciple as well, or just using Blast to gather the cubes, because it seems like gathering the cubes benefits God as well, not just Blast and his boys. Because if we're going off of the lore in, you know, chapter 119 about, you know, the saints and the death bone, you know, there's a good side that wants to collect the cubes and there's a bad side that wants to collect the cubes. Because even in chapter 173, Stitch is like, you know, he, his partner, and a group of many other collaborators were searching for the cubes. So that's probably the saints and, you know, also those spatial beings that we see with Blast as well. So yeah, that ties everything together here. And to go a little more into the ninja village and Blast, it turns out that around like 9-ish years ago, because it was when Flashy Flash was 16 years old, Sonic tells Flashy Flash that the night of the day of his incident, you know, where he took out the class, someone else wanted to attack and destroy us. On the day of the graduation and the exam showed up, it was Blast who attacked the ninja village. He did not show us orphans any mercy. As they had gone through personality reform to be assassins, the junior trainees naturally tried to battle, but their amateurish ninjutsu were useless against the enemy. As the only strong one, I was able to escape and survive on my own. The rest of the junior trainees got separated. I haven't heard anything from them since. Even if some managed to survive, there wouldn't be much left. So this is another thing that we've been speculating about for years. It's like, we don't know if Blast straight up murdered them or if this was even Blast himself, because we saw that God can impersonate Blast. So it's possible that that was God impersonating Blast, trying to lure them all to become his servants as well. Or it was literally Blast showing up and he was like trying to take them out or making sure that they weren't going to become subservient to God, possibly. I don't know if he was killing them. Maybe he was just, I don't know, trying to arrest them or take them away or something, because it doesn't outright say that he killed them. You know, it says they got separated and I haven't heard anything from them since. So the verdict's still out. But yeah, that's pretty much how everything is connecting here, and it's so satisfying for this to finally come to light. And if you're wondering what happens to the ninja village leader, well, after Sonic and Flashy Flash wind up defeating, you know, like I said, the Heavenly Ninja Party, right after Gale explains to them who he is, they wind up going after him and they, you know, plan to take him down together. But when they show up, it turns out that Saitama had already defeated him with like one punch and knocked him into the pavement. And we haven't seen him since then. So either he's dead or he's in another coma, but I think he's going to have a much bigger role in the manga, it seems, or at least more stuff to talk about. I wouldn't be surprised if one still just has Saitama take him out in one punch, but I think at least more will be explained, hopefully. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, guys, and if you liked the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.